Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm MJ and this is Zebra Not Horse. This is my YouTube channel which I have created as a late diagnosed autistic person to kind of share everything that I'm learning along my journey. I'm hoping that it might help some people. I'm hoping that it might just put a little bit more education into the world and change the stereotypical view of what autism is. There are a lot of people that are late diagnosed in this world who present very differently from your stereotypical of what you learn in films and everything. So I just want to be able to share what my experience is as being an autistic woman who is just discovering how autism has affected her whole life, but only just discovered there's a name to it. So in a couple of my videos I've shared about what traits we can have as an autistic person, and today I think it will be quite exciting to share some autistic traits that I don't have. Autistic people don't have all of the traits, and even neurotypical people can have some autistic traits. So I have lots of different traits and I have shared them in previous videos, but today let's just talk about the ones that I know I don't have. Okay, so I am a bit sad about this one. I don't have a special interest that I can turn into a job. So a lot of autistic people can harness their special interest in go off to university and really deep dive into the subject and become a professional or an expert in this field. I unfortunately don't feel like a smart person, and autism is my special interest mainly, so that's why I'm doing this channel. I guess I struggled really a lot at school, so I never really found something that I felt I was good at. And as an adult, it has also been pretty much the same. So you get a lot of special interest and hyper-focus. I'm generally more of a hyper-focused type of person than a special interest type person. And the difference is hyper-focus is usually like really short term, and special interest is something that you can love for years and just always have a desire to learn or be in that field. I do have some special interests, but I'm mainly into hyperfixations like TV series or, something like the Titanic or Murderers. Like I just do deep dives into these kind of subjects and then I move on to the next one, and it could just be something crazy like orangutans. So my special interests change and jump around quite a lot. And I do wish that I had a special interest that was able to be harnessed into making money from, but I don't. Next one is food tolerances. So a lot of autistic people really struggle with the texture or the taste of certain types of foods. I myself have quite a variety of foods that I can eat, and I generally love dry foods like crackers and crisps and oatcakes and things like that. I do have the same cereal every single day. That isn't a set in stone thing. Like I can choose not to have that cereal, and I'm totally okay. But it is my preferred cereal, and sometimes I have special foods where it's like I have the same dinner every night for 3-4 weeks until that food runs out or I don't want to buy it again in the shop. So I do have a specific palate, but I think it's more just preference of what I like. I would literally eat or try anything. My mum has a frid, I think that's how you say it, where she has really, really high tolerances to certain types of food, and her palate is very bland and very basic. And it's amazing that she is the polar opposite of me. The next one is I don't have ADHD. This is a really common trait for a lot of autistic people, especially late diagnosed. For some reason, these two brain types go hand in hand a lot of the time. A lot of people have ADHD if they're autistic. But I am one of the minority. I do not have ADHD, or at least I don't think I do. I don't have a million tabs open in my brain. I don't get stuck on certain thoughts. I don't get distracted very easily. I finish tasks with a lot of love of getting them complete. Yeah, I know there's like way much more to consider with ADHD, but as far as I'm aware, I don't have it. The urge to lick sand. This is a weird one. I don't think it's massively common, but there are a lot of autistic people out there who, when they're at the beach or in a sand pit or whatever, they have the urge to put the sand in their mouth and feel the texture and crunch down and just lick it. Or maybe shiny things, like they see something shiny and they just have to put it in their mouth to know what it feels like. I guess these people experience the world of touch through their tongue. Does that make sense? I do not desire to put things in my mouth that are not supposed to be there. I don't know. It's just not me. Eye contact. So I was brought up with a very strict father who, encouraged a lot of eye contact. He says if you don't give eye contact, then you're being rude and you need to show people that you're listening to them. Eye contact is not something I find hard, but I guess I feel a little bit uncomfortable when I'm meeting people for the first time to give them eye contact. And I do it, but it's inside my brain is saying, this is yucky. So I do understand why people struggle with this, but it frustrates me when I'm talking to someone and I'm focusing so much on my eye contact and they don't give me the same amount of eye contact back. I don't really mind it when people's eyes dart around, but if they don't even look at me, I do struggle with that because I put so much effort into this. But I'm not judging because it's just, who they are. It's just difficult for my brain to understand. Next one, imagination. So as a child, when I was playing with my toys, I didn't really have the norm of imagination with role playing. I basically would pick up my Barbie dolls and play with them as they are, like brush their hair, dress them, make them walk, like do things that you could physically do, but not add a story to it. And I didn't realise this was like not regular behaviour, I guess. I don't know. But also coming into that is creativity. So I used to think I was an extremely creative person and I would always be doing something with my hands, whether it was photography, baking, making cards, scrapbooking. I was always very crafty and I love drawing. But when it comes down to it, I'm actually not that creative. All of my creativity in the past has basically been copying what other people do and then basically seeing it as my own. It takes a lot for my brain to actually think creatively. People assume I'm creative, but now that I'm aware that I'm autistic, I realise, my creativity was all just a front. It was just a smoke and mirrors thing that I wanted to be because I thought that was a really cool aspect of someone's personality. So I pretended to be really creative, but it actually takes a lot more effort for me to be creative than I think it would a creative person. Collection of things. So this is a weird one. I do fall into this category and I don't fall into this category. So some autistic people are really into collecting items or collecting things in their brain or physically. So you can collect dates and numbers and associations of dates, I guess, in your brain and like know exactly when something happened in history and just never be able to figure that information. Or you could have a collection of an item, so some people like squishmallows or fidget toys or a collection of something. I had to think about this one because although I don't remember dates in history as much as I would love to, like I love history, but ask me when Second World War happened, I haven't got a clue. Or when the Titanic sunk, I haven't got a clue. I mean, I could probably think about it for a while and tell you the answer because I try and train my brain to remember, but it's not something that comes really easily to me. But I have forever been a fan of the show Neighbours, the Australian show Neighbours. And forever, I have always written down when people celebrate their birthday. And it's very frustrating to me because the writers of Neighbours are not very accurate with when a certain character's birthday falls and in the following year, whether it's the same date or not. Sometimes it's not even the same month, which really frustrates me as a viewer. But for some reason, I wanted to write down characters' birthdays and how often they come. And this is useless information, but for some reason I really enjoyed collecting that. So I'm not really a collector of things, but I guess in my life I have had random things that I do collect. So I do fall in and I don't fall into that category. Some autistic people really struggle with wearing shoes or socks on their feet, and they just have to be completely free and feel the ground beneath them without anything on them. I don't mind wearing socks and shoes. Like, I love the summer when I'm just wearing flip-flops all the time, but I don't really like my feet being cold, so I would rather have socks on and I would rather have shoes on to keep them, or at least slippers. I guess with socks, it's like the tightness of, the band around the top, and people feel that's really suffocating to their feet. I don't know, but I don't mind that one. Next one is, if an autistic person finds a song that they love, they will literally play on repeat forever for the rest of their days. And I'm not really a massive music fan. Like, I like music, but I'm not into certain types of music. I'm not a massive music follower. So, like, I can listen to songs that I love, but then I'm not bothered about listening to them 50 million times. I guess I haven't found my song yet. And then the last one, I'm not bothered by physical touch. A lot of autistics can feel really uncomfortable with physical touch or unexpected touch. I'm really quite a touchy-feely person, and I love hugs, and I love like reaching out and touching someone to comfort them. That's like a massive thing that I do as a love language. It has to be people that I'm familiar with and comfortable with, but generally I'm quite a touchy-feely person. So someone touching me or, coming up behind and putting their arm around my shoulder without me noticing, I'm not really bothered. Like, I'm more just like, oh, who's that? And then find out who it is. So yeah, that's, I think, about 10 autistic traits that I don't have. So what are yours? There's so many things out there that are classed as autistic traits, but what are the things that you feel you don't have as an autistic person? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope that you've had a really good day and continue to do so. See you next time. Bye.